What's up, nerds? Bohannon back with another video. You know, life has been golden lately, hasn't it? Hasn't life been golden? The disease is fading slowly. Hopefully, the world is getting back. Well, not really. There's still lots and lots of disease out there, but everything feels great, doesn't it? Well, I've been very lucky in my life. I have been able to work at home for the past 11 or so, or 11, 12 years, whatever it's been. And I've been married to a wonderful woman for 20 of those 20 all the time. And we both survived the pandemic just fine so far. We have jobs. We're laid off for anything horrible. So I feel horrible for people who have that happen to them. So that means that I've been so lucky and have been able to afford boxes that I can't get open. Toys. And this is one that I'm reviewing today from JOYTOY. JOYTOY is this fantastic Chinese company that makes 124, 125, and 118 scale Mecha, giant robots, little giant robots, and action figures. They all go in those scales. So if you buy the like this is 125 is what I'm collecting, which is a little bit smaller. It means it takes 25 of these guys stacked on top of each other to equal the real life size of one. So that gives you an idea. The 118 scale is the largest, and they just do it's just like, it's kind of amazing what toys can do now. How articulated they are, how fun they are to play with and just pose. I mean, if you're a kid in this time, it really almost makes me want to have a kid just so he can play with some of my toys. But then again, he'd probably break them and I wouldn't like that. So this is cool. They have a little English usually. A lot of times when you get these first, they'll be taken into they'll kind of be taken apart. So they'll kind of give you an idea of how to assemble them. But in all my experience, they're pretty much always assembled. What I like to do first is go through I think this is going to go this way. Let's do it this way. Take out, look at the little equipment and extra bits you get. The bits are always fun. I always recycle this. Now, if you do recycle this plastic, keep in mind that you're going to want to ask your local recycling facility if they recycle this and how. This might need to go into the recycling with your shopping bags that are thin. Throw that away, like that. And then they give you, it's these toys aren't amazing values because of the price. The prices, they're definitely not cheap. This one, for example, is about, I want to say 70. The 125s are about 70, 80, The 118s go up into 125 and stuff like that, American dinero. So keep that in mind. They're not cheap, but you're really getting a collectible that is also a toy. It's more of a toy than it's a collectible. I mean, and they give you just these amazing bits. This one, this is my third one. And JOYTOY 125th scale, I think it's called Reach for the Stars or whatever, the 125th line. Is one of the 12, remember, recycle that, throw it away, is one of the 12 lines that I collect. And I'll go over those sometime. I need to make a video reintroducing the 12 lines that I collect. And they're fantastic. This is my third one. I've only paid for 3 so far. Now I will be getting more in the future, of course, because I'm not a fool. I'm not moving into 118 scale just yet. I'm going to stay away from 118 scale because they are more pricey, but most important, they're larger. They take up more room on the shelf. So what should we go through for? Let's look at the little bits and bobs. This one I just really like. I just find one that I think is cool looking. And I mean, look at the paint job. Danger, well, do not touch. Ow, ow, ow. The paint jobs are always great. The weathering is always great. So really, for the money you're getting, I think it's a great deal. Now, there are a lot of other things you can buy for 80 bucks out there. Let me get my lights going in here. Did I get my lights are just not looking great right now. Fam? I almost said fam. Sorry about that. But they're just so fun. They're just like, there's lore to it, but you just automatically out of the package, it looks ready to go. Do you know what I mean? There's no preparation. Now, I do models and stuff like that, so I'm used to preparation. I'm cool with preparation, but sometimes sometimes I just want to open the damn thing and go. Usually there's little parts that you're going to hit some, so we'll look at that. I mean, they got 2 guns and 2 swords. Wow! That's a lot of weaponry. I'm not a big weaponry guy. I like just the bots themselves, but we're going to look into all that. You'll have these little parts that'll attach. This is probably a gun. they're gonna hold, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what that is. So let's get all the spare parts put to the side. This is, of course, you get an action figure and or a pilot, I should say. They do have some small bits, but they also look really good usually. She looks pretty cool. They have a lot of female characters. Oh shoot, it's not all just male dudes running around. I'm gonna have to pick that up, aren't I? I'm gonna go do that in a minute. So they, you know, it's really cool to see that. They look great. This is the scale at 125. On 118, they just look just more detailed. They can be a little fragile as far as like that. The stuff will just kind of fall out. But you know, it's a small part. I mean, look at the size of this gun. You're going. Oh, that's not the gun. Where'd the gun go? Here it is. You can see how tiny it is. So you do have to be aware that this stuff can fall out of the holster. And so just keep an eye on that. Me personally, if I'm going to put all this stuff together and pose them on the shelf, I'm going to probably set some of that tiny stuff aside. You can't really see it that well anyway. Now let's get to the big thing. Let's do this. This is the best part. I just love how they're kind of in a squat. Like they look a little bit smaller. When you first get a 125 scale bot, the box is kind of small. And you're like, oh, it's kind of small. I'm kind of sad or whatever. And then you take it out and you're like, oh, this is stupidly cool. I mean, just right out of the box. I like this one because of the top latch. The top, how it just folds up. It's very simple. Some of them have like a 2-part latch and a little more I like how this, also I liked how it was white. It almost looks like a cop with the red up here, or like an ambulance or like a medical bot, which I love the idea of. Wait, okay, never mind. I thought I was seeing something else there. Okay, that's right. But as I say with every time, this is the third time now, but anytime you get something new like this, as you start to bend it, you really want to support every area you bend, because while these are really sturdy, you can definitely break them. So if you're going to bend like the elbow there, try and grab it on both sides, you know. Be careful. It's not as bad as you think, and sometimes the parts are actually much looser than you would think. I'm trying to get his arm. Let's see, and each finger is posable, articulated. Not only that, but they look good. Look at the hand. Look fantastic. Kind of semi-metallic, but not super metallic. The legs are almost always a little bit squatter than you can make them. So what I try to do is, let's see if we can get them to go out further. They go down. There you go. So see how she can get a little taller here. See how tall she can get, about that tall. So you see how much more room she's got now. I mean, and already I'm just, and the funny thing about doing these reviews is I don't get a chance to like play with them during the review, like really get in there and get, start messing with it. So I just have to do the kind of basics of it. Usually I like to try and stand it up, get it in a basic position. You can usually turn them a couple different ways and then start looking at it that way. Already I'm just blown away by, every time I get one of these and I open it up and start messing with it, you just start having fun. You just get a smile on your face because they're just such a fun toy. Okay, so let's unveil the cockpit. Kind of hard to see in there. Let me get my light a little bit closer. I want to get some. Get my make sure I don't pick up that razor and get hurt by it. So the cockpit is pretty empty. I wonder if you have cockpit parts here to put in there. See that? It's pretty bare. Which is unusual. Usually they have all these little, it has a little handle that goes, maybe it's floating up in here instead. Let's see what the paperwork says, because I do miss stuff all the time in these videos. People are like, man, you didn't even see it right there. It's right there, you know. That cockpit does seem pretty empty. But in my experience, the cockpit can be a little bit annoying. There's not much in there, is there? So she's going to fit right in there. Usually there's like a little handle. But that's cool, you know. Let's just keep moving here. You're just going to have little extra additional armor parts that you can snap on. So that's a shoulder. It's always going to have like shoulder armor. So one of these here goes right here. So not much. So it is a thinner looking one, which I really dig. I like the kind of spindlier looking ones. I like the bots that look more like bots and less like humanoid. Like the new Death one, there was that one, the sniper one they put out. That was really cool looking, but it looked like a human dressed up in a guinea suit. What do we call it? A gunny suit, sorry. And I thought, it looks it doesn't look enough like a robot. But it can grab and do all this cool stuff. Look at that. Good details in the hand. These ball joints do tend to get a little bit loose. So be aware of that. You know, you might have some issues there. What goes on the front? See, I'm just going to have to play with it for the next 20 years and then get to it. Now, that's the backpack. Is there a backpack here? Did I have a backpack here? What is that? Does that not look like... Oh, that's just that back section. So I'm looking at that, and you you can always mount stuff like that using one of these right here, like this, and then you can mount that there. So they can, oh, look at that. That is just ridiculous looking. And it's often usually really easy to add, to have them hold stuff. Sometimes they'll have parts in their arms that you can actually snap like there'll be an extra grip hole that you can put in there and it'll hold it. But it looks like this is just strictly a grip thing. I don't see, is there a little slot in one of the hands to hold it? Sometimes there'll be a slot. I'm not seeing one. But let's see if I can get it to hold that with no problems. There might be something else to that, but it could definitely hold that. I'm not sure. I'm doing something wrong there. I'll mess with that. It can definitely hold it like that as well. And then you've got all these extra little bits and bobbles. Look at the ammo. That's fantastic. That should probably just slam in the bottom of the gun. Watch this. Oh, that is so cool. Now, it's funny because you're never going to, use that. You're never going to pull that out or whatever, because once it's in, it's displayed, But it's the idea that, cat hair everywhere. It's the idea that you can change out the... Usually there's something that's going to go in here. I'll bet. Is there a front part to the gun? Sometimes the guns will have a little bit of an add-on. I'm not seeing one, but you see how there's no real barrel? See that? There's no real barrel. So I'm betting it's something like... No? I probably won't spend too much time on this. That's all right. I'll look at it. And this, I was wondering what this was. Is this like a bazooka for the... Oh my gosh, I should have checked that out. Oh wow, look at that. Does it fly? Oh wow. Does it fly out? Come out? It does. Look at that. Oh, that's so ridiculous. So the question is that a part you can... That is a part you can take off. And then I bet you can mount those somewhere on the... Yeah, you mount them up top there. So you would take this and or whatever. You're going to mount it up there somewhere. So that gives you an idea. Let's go ahead and put her in the seat there. Like I said, this seat is a little bit odd because it's a bit empty in there inside the cockpit. Usually it's much more open. Let's see if we can get him in there. But sometimes I'm thinking I'm going to dig that because the other ones are so hard to get them into the cockpit. There you go. It looks pretty cool. Click. Nice. I'm digging this. The other one I have has actual, like a plastic glass. I love how it says punishment too. But I kind of wish there was a little bit of a see-throughness there. That would be kind of neat to see her in there. But I do like that it just closes up and she's in there. It's real simple. Some of them have the pilot mount on the back. So they literally control it from the back. That's typically, I think, in the 1/18 scale, though. They can do quite a bit as far as movement, but again, I'm not going to do it all on this one review because I don't want to snap any of the legs without really paying attention here. But usually you're going to have a dual bend. Let's see if it has a dual bend in the leg. And then it goes like that. Okay, so it's not going to go back much. But that gives you an idea of how movable the legs are. And it's pretty tight. It's not ridiculously tight. As some of them can be. I'm enjoying this. All of them have this little ball joint that connects in the middle there, but I'm enjoying that it has these little hidden, makes it look like those are the parts that are kind of moving it around. Really fantastic design. Each one I get is like my new favorite one, but this really is. I love how skinny it looks. I love how robotic it looks. It looks like something that would be created, not... a real world equivalent of a toy. You could see that. A toy equivalent of a real world thing. Really cool looking. It's going to look fantastic on the shelf. Speaking of which, let's go look at or put it on the shelf and take a look at what it looks like. Okay, so stuff is getting pretty tight up in here. I've got these little extra guys. This fantastic little toy I reviewed on my channel. Check those out. This was a knockoff of a larger toy. Still was pretty neat. And then she's gonna go like right in front of this other one for now, because the big guy here in the back, gray guy, has got to have some center action. I'm gonna have to eventually give, easily within one or two more, I'm gonna have to give these guys their own shelf. That guy does not go up there. So you see that the hexagear is kind of pushing in here. So make a little, I hate that squeaking it makes on plastic. So, you can see, look at that. How cool is that? Da, 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 da. And then I'll probably, since he's a little shorter in the back, I'll probably pull him out front. So I'll definitely have to redo that. But just look at the blue light shining on the armor there. This is really cool. I like the white. I'm loving the white. The next one I'm hoping to get is an actual kind of metallic like this one, but literally like a metallic. It's got a metallic sheen on it, you know, like kind of like her shoulders. So really, really excited to get that. What a great, fantastic, fantastic JOYTOY toy that brings joy to everybody. So good. Have a good one, everybody. Take it easy. Bye-bye.